The Color Purple is a drama thriller directed by Steven Spielberg, known for the films Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and E.T. Extraterrestrial. A black southern woman struggles to find her identity after suffering abuse from her father and others over 4 decades. Film's runtime is 154 minutes. The film's rating is PG-13. In color, the novel by Alicia Walker. Color Purple. I last night saw this film leading up to, I think, the new movie that's coming out. So I wanted to see the original. It's directed by one of the all-time greats, Mr. Spielberg himself. And yeah, I just wanted to see it. I didn't know nothing about this movie. I'll be 100% honest. I think all I knew from this movie is watching a trailer for a movie of a remake of this movie, which is funny enough. But other than that, I didn't have much of an idea of what The Color Purple is even about. So seen it last night, watching it, I thought it was an incredible film. I thought Spielberg directing a movie that isn't a movie that he would make. You know, he makes movies that are adventures, sci-fi, things like that. And him finally doing a pretty dramatic film, really showing that, hey, Spielberg can make movies in this kind of caliber. And this film is incredible. It's an incredible movie with amazing performances by first off by Whoopi Goldberg and of course Oprah Winfrey, the ones that got nominated, and also the woman who played Shug. I think her performance was really solid as well. All around, this film is just really an incredible movie to behold. It's a powerful movie. It's tough. It's pretty depressing film that really gets you, but by the end you feel good about yourself. That's all you need to know. You feel good about yourself. It's an incredible film by Mr. Spielberg, and I said the performances by everybody. So of course we got the young actors. You got Desrita Jackson and Kusua Busia playing young Sally Harris and Nettie Harris, the 2 young actresses that played the young version. They did a damn good job. Specifically the young Celie, who her performance correlates to Whoopi Goldberg's performance just fantastic wise, and the kids did a great job. Of course the main protagonist is Whoopi Goldberg as Silly Johnson, this woman who is married to this guy who's just not a good person, terrible person, and just is in there just cause, and she's just helping the guy, doing everything. Whoopi Goldberg is incredible in this movie. This is a film that I was used to Whoopi Goldberg, a comedian, her doing funny movies like Sisters Act, and she's a really funny actress. So seeing her in The Color Purple is like seeing a different kind of person. It's like she does not play what you expect what Whoopi Goldberg would play. This is a very serious, dramatic character who has kid tendencies because she just never had love ever. And she hides her smile, and it's sad, but also just very innocent in a way. But you could tell she's gone through so much stuff that you just feel for her. And Whoopi Goldberg, in probably one of the best performances I've seen of her. She is incredible in this film. And you also got her friend Margaret Avery, Shug Avery, the singer, who come across her, and when she's not in her best stage of life. And Shug Avery's great. I love this character. I love the chemistry between her and him and Whoopi, and also just her trying to help her out, especially during such a tough relationship with Mr. Danny Glover. And it's like she's there for she's there for her and trying to make sure she's alright, and she's great. I thought her performance is just really good. And of course the antagonist of this film is Danny Glover as Albert, aka the wife beater. Like, legitimately, just he's funny. There's scenes where he's getting ready and it's like kind of funny to see him, but you can tell this man is just a terrible person. Just doesn't care for Whoopi. She just has her to just take care of him, I guess, and take care of the house, and just an ass. Just a really bad character, a really, really terrible character that you just hate him. And I think Danny Glover does a remarkable job in this film. I thought his performance is just really good. as this guy who is just a terrible person, and it's like he makes you hate Danny Glover in this film, and I think he did a great job making him such an unlikable asshole. And I thought Danny did a fantastic job. The supporting characters, or the other antagonist is Dana Ivory as Miss Millie. I brought her up because, like, this character is so bad. Like, I don't want to say much because I feel like it's a big moment in the film that you should see it if you haven't. But this character, Jesus, she seems like a likable woman when it benefits her. But when things aren't going the way she expects, she goes full throttle, just go crazy. And man, this character is so unlikable, and the actress does a fantastic job playing this kind of person. The original Karen, like they say, Oprah Winfrey in one of her first films as Sophia, and yeah, this is such an incredible performance. She nailed it in this film. I'm not a big fan of Oprah as a person, but you cannot deny that she's a really good actress and just a really good performer, and she does a fantastic job in this movie. Her acting skills, especially, she doesn't take take shit from anyone. He doesn't take shit. Just you try to attack her, she'll punch you right in your face. And I love this character. I thought Oprah Winfrey did a really good job, but especially when things get tough for her character, and when things are going wrong for her. And I thought Oprah Winfrey is really amazing in this film. I gotta give props to Oprah. This is one of the best performances I've seen of her in film. I think Oprah Winfrey was really incredible in this role. Willard E. Poe as Harpo Johnson, the lover of Oprah. And this is a character that is a character that he's a good guy in heart. You can tell he's a good guy in heart, but the dad very much influences him to do things that aren't good. Like, hey, yeah, give her like Sean Connery, just give her a slap. not like that, but just like very influential, and he does what his dad says. You can tell not in his heart he's a good man, and I feel like throughout the film you get to see him, of course, him being like his dad and seeing how influential father could be to a child, but also him like having some character development and him trying to be good, and also just to say, like, Danny Glover he plays a man that is just a man that you could tell his father had a lot of influence on why he is the kind of person he is, which is an incredible feat, I think. Like, it really shows how parents can truly, the way they raise and the way that they can influence a kid to do things that they wouldn't do, pretty much, and influencing them in bad ways. Some good ways, like good parents would influence you in a good way, and some bad parents can influence you in a really bad way, and that's why some people are who they are, and it's quite sad. It's quite sad. But and Danny Glover, you can tell that he's just a bad person, but his father was one of the reasons why he's just the kind of person that he is. But Harpo is the one that you could tell that his dad's having influence in him, but he also has that good heart, and you can see that with the good people he can be good in. It's great. I thought the guy did a great job. The performances by everybody is really good. Spielberg's direction of the film is just very good. This is a beautiful film to look at, one thing. But the story, a very powerful story that tells a pretty depressing tale of a woman who just misses her sister and just feels that her sister just abandoned her. Well, not abandoned her, but feels like that she's not writing her and things like that. It's a tough movie to watch, I gotta say. There's some toughness to this movie. It's not a very lighthearted film. It's a very dark, it tells that tale of a woman that most women deal with, of an abusive husband, and it's pretty rough to see because it's real life that happens. So I thought the direction by Spielberg is incredible. The screenplay by Menno Meyjes is really good. It's a very well written film. The dialogue is really good, and just the story and the time period that it takes place is just really, really good. I really did love this film. And score by Quincy Jones, known for the score for The Pawnbroker, In Cold Blood, and In the Heat of the Night. And the score is great. It is a very well composed film. This film is not composed by John Williams. Usually Spielberg and John Williams usually make movies together. But Quincy Jones still did a remarkable job with the score, and it works very well for what the film is going for. The score is really good. DP by Alan DeVoe is just great. It is such a beautiful film. to look at. It's such a well shot film, especially when the sunset. It kind of reminds me of like Raiders, where where they're digging. Some of those shots that kind of go to The Color Purple. But there's some really beautiful looking film. This is a beautiful looking film to look. It's just a beauty. Editing by Michael Cann, known for editing films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and The Goonies. Very well edited. 2.5 hours. Never slows down. I feel like the story and everything that happens really engages you, and I feel like everything that's in the film, it should be in the film pretty much. It's such a well-crafted, edited film that 2.5 hours doesn't feel like it. It's a very well-paced film. Costume design by Aggie Garrett Rogers, known for The Conversation, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And yeah, the costume designing is really good. It's the time, the way they dressed during the early 1900s. It's not slave time, but it's like afterwards, pretty much. 1900s, late 1900s. Yeah, costume is really good. Everybody dresses the part, pretty much. Everybody dresses the part. And The Color Purple, my opinions, is straightforward. I thought this is an amazing movie. I genuinely thought the Color Purple is a really amazing film. Seeing it only once, it's hard to really love a movie for me personally by seeing it once, but by the end of the movie, I really said to myself, when you love a movie, when you say to yourself, man, I love this movie. And I think The Color Purple is just an amazing film by Spielberg, and really showing that he can make a dramatic film, that he's not just gonna be known for making adventures, sharks, and just creatures and sci-fi movies. That Mr. Spielberg, this is like, I think one of the first movies that I can think of the top of my head, that Spielberg does a movie that's very dramatic. That's not an adventure. It's not very kid friendly. This is straight to the point. It's incredible. I thought this is an amazing film by Spielberg. I do worry about the remake because it is a musical, which, yeah, the movie itself, the original had songs, but I am worried in a way because it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals. I have very little musical musical movies that I really truly love. I mean, Mary Poppins is the one that comes to the top of my head. And usually Disney movies. They're musicals in animated form, pretty much. I thought, I am a little worried for the new one, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what they do with this film. Hopefully, if they keep the same story, the actresses, the performances are pretty good, I'll be alright. But I love this film. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's an amazing film by Spielberg, and it really was the one that showed that, hey, Spielberg can make dramatic stuff. Like, he's not gonna just make these adventure movies or kids movies and stuff. He's gonna make film that is very dramatic and it's incredible. Spielberg is an amazing director. You cannot really talk bad about Spielberg. Like, even though like lately Spielberg isn't making like the best. Like, this is not, I would say, his best stage of his career. I would think the best stage of his career is definitely 70s and 80s, I think. And I feel like we're not in his best years, pretty much. Which you could say maybe it's of age, and just like Spielberg is not making those movies anymore. But even Spielberg, you cannot deny that the man is an incredible filmmaker, and he's definitely one of the greats. And you gotta give respect to Steven Spielberg's name. Like, you can talk to somebody who doesn't like film, or doesn't like film, but maybe not too intelligent, and they would know who Steven Spielberg is, because he has such a legendary status in the filmmaking career, and you gotta give him respect. So yeah, this film's amazing, and also just Color Purple, an amazing movie with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey's best performances, and Danny Glover being such an ass, but in ways funny, but also you could tell this man in the inside is just a broken man. It's a fantastic film. It really is an amazing movie. Also, I just want to make an announcement. I usually don't do announcements, but I'm doing a quick announcement. I am still gonna do YouTube. I'm not saying I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop doing YouTube, but I got things to focus on, more of like goals in life, and sometimes talking about every film that I see can, in a way, I really truly proved that this year was my year. Like, the year of consistently. I can really be consistent reviewing movies. And I am proud of myself in a way that this year I truly got it, and I was super consistent. Like, I at least had a review every week, pretty much. I'm glad. I'm super proud of it. I'm not going to stop doing YouTube. I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing YouTube, but I'm going to still review movies, but only movies that I would consider just great, or amazing, pretty much great or amazing movies that I would love or just buy pretty much on collection. I'm not gonna talk. I don't know if I'm gonna do a director series. Like this year, I really did my like top tier. I mean, I talked about every film. I talked about Scorsese, Wes Anderson, Miyazaki, Nolan, most of their movies. And next year, I'm gonna focus on what I really want to do in as a career, which is filmmaking. You might see me maybe making a short film. Hopefully, maybe we can get it done. But I'm not gonna stop talking about movies. I'm always gonna talk about movies. It's just when I upload it on YouTube, it has to be something that I either really think it's good or just I love this movie. So that's my thing. I just want to announce it so people don't think, oh wow, you don't upload that much or some stuff like that. But I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna talk about the movies that I consider really good or amazing. So, anyways, Christmas is coming, so there's that. I might do a review on a Christmas movie that I've seen more than 3 times. And of course, we'll do my top 10 list probably by the end of the year, pretty much. My top 10 movies of the year, which this year has been a pretty stacked year. Of course, there's some movies I just didn't see, which was, I didn't see Indiana Jones or some, what was the other one that didn't do good? I mean, some of the Disney movies I did see, but yeah. There's some movies I haven't seen, so yeah, I'm gonna do my top 10. It should be coming out this year.